I've been very excited to talk about this. We were playing a little bit yesterday, but I didn't have time to make a reaction video because Grubby's video wasn't out. Exciting stuff, guys. I'm going to be playing in Grubby's Streamer Invitational. This is number 2. We're going to be watching this video and reacting.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's finally time to unveil the next major Warcraft 3 Streamer Invitational. 8 newbie players are once again going to be going head-to-head to claim ultimate victory in a streamer tournament after engaging in rigorous training regimes in preparation of the contest. In a few moments, I'm going to be revealing which of the 8 streamers have agreed to embark on this epic journey. There's also going to be an exciting and hopefully not controversial racial comment towards the end of this video. Make sure to stay tuned for that. But first, let's reminisce on the amazing event from 2 weeks ago. The OnlyFans Warcraft 3 Invitational was a resounding success for the participants, the viewers, and for myself as well. All 8 players took the event very seriously, practicing long hours and intensifying their practice the nearer to the tournament date that we got. People had 2 weeks to prepare, and people were getting coaching from me and other creators from the Warcraft 3 scene in order to try and be as well prepared as possible. While everyone had different practice methods in general, each player made vast improvements to increase their skill level, and they pushed the limits of what they thought would be possible. We, the community, watching them prepare on Twitch, we were the big winners, as the content that came out of their efforts was amazing to witness day in, day out. And I'd like to thank all the players again for their wondrous contributions in participating in the biggest Warcraft 3 Twitch event in many years. I remember waking up every day, I would watch the streams, I'll check who's live, who's practicing, maybe a little bit of cheeky backseating in chat, which was usually appreciated, and then I would also watch them during my streams, and after the streams, it was an amazing 2 weeks, and it culminated in those finals that I got so many thousands comments of great feedback about from you guys. We all found a lot of new people to follow. Awesome new streamers to follow, each unique and entertaining in their own ways. And besides all the amazing feels that we had watching them train and compete in the eventual tournament, I've got some cool numbers to share with you guys as well. After the OnlyFans WoW Season 2, which is still living its final breath right now, but is mostly over, and we're even starting to think about OnlyFans WoW Season 3, but after that Season 2, which contributed greatly, by the way, to this new timeline being possible, this has been the biggest Twitch event that I've personally ever been a part of, and it was incredible. Numbers-wise, it set huge records, and I'd like to share some of those numbers. Until January 2025, my Twitch channel had a highest concurrent viewership total of 17,000 viewers.
Jesus Christ, that's so many people. I think I was actually watching this event from here in Korea. And I remember being like, my God, these numbers are crazy. But it is so cool to see this many people hype about Warcraft 3 and RTS in general.
Then, in February, Soda Popping elected me to become raid leader for OnlyFans in Molten Core, and we reached 35,000 viewers here on Twitch during that. In March 2025, which is when the first Streamer Invitational, the OnlyFans Streamer Invitational happened, because of all you guys' interest in following the event, we pushed that record even further. If I combine my YouTube stream, Grubby streams, and the Twitch channel, the new CCV, concurrent viewership record, is 53,432. 10k of which was following on YouTube, and 43k plus on Twitch. It's pretty awesome. Because of all your amazing support, I've been extremely motivated to organize another Warcraft 3 Streamer Invitational. So I set about to look for new participants. This time around, I decided to go for a completely different list of players, and to source them, I activated some sleeper contacts, longer time friends, as well as more recent acquaintances to assemble a lineup of participants from different games, all new or relatively new to Warcraft 3 once again. But there's an extra theme around this time: strategy. The invitational lineup is comprised of strategy game enthusiasts and experienced players, either from RTS or from turn-based strategy games. You're not going to know some of them maybe, and some of them will be big familiars to you guys. Hopefully, by the end of this journey, you'll all know a couple of cool new people from this lineup. The overarching connection between these gentlemen is that all 8 streamers have strategy game backgrounds. whose experience and skill sets will translate the best when applied to Warcraft 3, and whose time investments into training will pay off in the best way. Of course, it's not all about winning, but it's about the journey that we make and the friends we make along the way as
He's wrong about that. It is all about winning.
well. As before, I'm going to be making myself available for coaching, all 8 of them, so that everyone watching can also get to know each of the players and each of the streamers a little bit more along the way. I can also aid in setting up additional coaching from Warcraft 3 community coaches to connect them together with the streamers. There are no limitations in how they can prepare independently, self-motivated, or to also get some help from other coaches and from myself. In the upcoming week, I'll also try to organize a 4 versus 4 match so that we can all get to know them a little bit better and we can kind of get a grounding barometer of where they're at in Warcraft 3 right now. This event is going to be held on April 18th and April 19th. Unless something crazy happens and suddenly 3 of them say, oh, it's no longer working out, I'm planning this for April 18th and April 19th, with a possible stretch goal into April 20th if the tournament format that I come up with is going to be particularly rowdy. Okay, so who are the players? Let's introduce them. First player is going to be the Viper. The Viper's main
I got to
game-
move my camera here 1 second. Yeah, the Viper. I think this guy is probably favored to win the whole thing. This guy is a legend.
is Age of Empires 2. He is widely regarded as one of the greatest Age of Empires 2 players of all time. The Viper has dominated the competitive scene for Age of Empires for over a decade. Will that skill transfer over to Warcraft 3? I actually played 2v2 with him some years ago, where he nearly destroyed my Great Hall, even though he was my teammate, by accident. But it was nearly. We managed to stop him before he committed the ultimate betrayal.
So, I might be getting ahead of myself here, but I do think out of all the people that he's picked, and you'll see what I mean as the rest of the people get picked here, the Viper is the one who's probably the scariest. I don't know how well Age of Empires actually translates into Warcraft 3. Like, at least with StarCraft and StarCraft 2, I mean, they're Blizzard games. There's certain elements of those RTS games that I think do transfer over. And I've always felt like Age of Empires, you have like so many spinning plates. There's so many things going on at once, which is very different from Warcraft 3, which I think is a lot about, understanding how to take fights, and kind of a creeping patterns. So I don't know. I'm curious how he's going to do. I am praying to God I do not get paired versus the Viper to start this off. I think I'll be boned.
So he briefly played Warcraft 3 about 3 years ago, but hasn't played since, and he's pretty much new to Warcraft 3. Awesome to have him. Next player is going to be Lakari. Lakari is known for being a competitive fighting games player. He also has experience in MMOs and in Dota 2. Actually kind of a goated mage player in the OnlyFangs WoW season. Super cool guy, and he's going to be participating here as well. I did tell him that the other players they have a lot of strategy game background, but so does Lakari. Lakari is actually very high rank in Dota 2. He has more MMR than I got, and my journey was described as being quite a good journey.
So, in my experience, a lot of people that play fighting games are usually pretty good at RTS games. Oh my God, the cat just jumped on the table. Hold on. In my experience, yeah, it's these one-on-one games that I think, as someone from a fighting game background can kind of fit in and use those skills. Also, fighting games are just so hard in general. It takes so much work to be good at. I don't know exactly how Lakari is going to fit in here, but if he's a top-tier Dota player and a good fighting game player, I don't see why he wouldn't be a strong RTS player.
Of skill increase over more than a year. So I've seen him play. He's great at WoW. He's great at Dota 2. Let's see how he does here. Third player that is in the list is going to be Tommy K from Tommy K Live. Many of you are going to know him from the game Hearts of Iron 4, which is a grand strategy game, and this is where he specializes. Tommy K has been watching Warcraft 3 for many years. He has a few hundred games of experience, but he has never played on W3 Champions, and is as far as I know, he's never played any competitions as well. So cool to get someone from the grand strategy game genre here in Warcraft 3.
So I wasn't familiar with Tommy. I did raid his stream yesterday, and he told me that he was actually a big GSL fan, which is very cool to hear. I have no idea how this guy is going to be in the competition. Obviously, with a strategy background, he should be pretty good. It sounds like he's at least played enough Warcraft 3. He can probably hang, but yeah, no idea where to pin him exactly skill-wise.
And I'll also be announcing all their races, by the way, by the end of it. The fourth participant is going to be Red Panda. I met Red Panda during Age of Empires 4. He's from the Banjwa Streaming Collective.
I watch actually a decent amount of Banjwa. Even though it's like in German and I don't know what's being said, a lot of times they're playing games that I like. And for my time, a lot of times that's a good thing to have on because I'm on kind of weird hours over here in Korea. Hold on, guys. The cat's trying to lay down. I'm just moving my keyboard. All right, continuing on.
His prior experience is in StarCraft 2 and Age of Empires 4. When I asked him to introduce himself on the server, Red Panda said he was actually too young to play Warcraft 3 at the time that it came out. Hold up. Should I check with him what's actually older? Is he older or is Warcraft 3 older? Like, is he actually our youngest participant? I'll let you guys know later. The fifth participant is an absolute legend. You may know him as one half of a casting duo from another strategy game. Awesome guy. Used to be a competitive RTS player. It's Tasteless. Tasteless is going to be participating in the Warcraft 3 tournament here. He's known for StarCraft, Brood
This is,
War,
by the way,
and
you can
StarCraft
see. Hold on, I
II.
gotta pause.
One of the most influential
When I was watching this video, I'm like, oh, the lighting in my room is way too bright. I made it dimmer. I think it looks better now.
esports commentators. Tasteless spearheaded English language StarCraft 1 casting. He's done a lot of SC2
Dude, we're
casting
so
as well.
young there.
Alongside Artosis, he formed the legendary Tastosis casting duo, casting GSL and many other StarCraft events. He played Brood War competitively, but his legacy is mostly in being an amazing commentator and popularizing StarCraft worldwide. Our sixth participant is T90. T90 is an organizer in Age of Empires 2 that has created many tournaments. He's especially known for his Hidden Cup, where participants are not aware of who they are playing against, where all player names are hidden. Very creative.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Very creative tournament format, actually. One of the most recognizable casters and content creators in the Age of Empires.
So the truth is, I'm so not of the Age of Empires world. Excuse me. I've meant to actually pick up Age of Empires 2 for a long time, and maybe we'll do that at some point in time on this stream, but it's like a whole other universe over there. I've got a lot of respect for the game. Age of Empires 2, especially during the pandemic, just blew up. It's massive. But yeah, that whole world, I don't know. I don't really know how to play Age of Empires at any kind of like high level. Occasionally I kind of poke my head into the streams and see what's going on. But I mean, I think if you're going to be good at Age of Empires, 100% you can be good at Warcraft 3, right?
Empires 2 community. He has helped bring AoE 2 to a broader audience. Will now be actually starting something what for him is very new, going to another RTS game. He has been pretty comfortably entrenched in the Age of Empires 2 scene, but I managed to convince him to give Warcraft 3 a try, promising to help him out as well with learning this game. I'm very curious to see how his journey shall go as well. Number 7 actually started playing Warcraft 3 independently after being inspired, like many of you, and even me, to grind more Warcraft 3 ladder. We were all inspired by the first Streamer Invitational, the OnlyFans one. You guys see it already from the color, don't you? You recognize it from the color of the image that I'm showing. Or maybe because I said he's been streaming it. Yes, it's Loco. Loco is known for StarCraft 2 and RTS games. He's a longtime StarCraft 2 content creator, recently dabbling in Warcraft 3 by himself already. Learning to learn the game without any coaches, just trying to find guides.
Super excited to have Loco in here. Loco is like a buddy. I mean, we're always hanging out at events. I've known Loco for a long time. Great pick here, I think, especially with me kind of being more in StarCraft 1 right now with ASL, and there's not a whole lot of StarCraft 2 events going on, but Loco kind of repping the StarCraft 2 scene. I think he's going to be a real threat here. I do feel like coming into this, I think the Blizzard RTS guys should just have, like, I think a natural advantage. StarCraft 1 and 2 are very different games from Warcraft 3. Warcraft 3 has always sort of been its own unique game. I can't really think of anything that's even comparable to Warcraft 3. I mean, even Warcraft 2 is more similar to StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2 than it is to Warcraft 3 in a lot of ways. Anyways.
Online. He has been having fun with it, and I figured, hey, if his interest in Warcraft 3 is organic like this, and he already started to play, let's see. And these are his first games in Warcraft 3, by the way. Let's see if he wants to play in the tournament. And like the others, he accepted enthusiastically. The final member of this lineup is someone that's known from the Total War series. He's a content creator where he's a competitive player and a caster, but he's already done a lot of variety and even beat my ass in another game that we played. More about that later. It's Turin. Turin from the Warhammer franchises, the Total War franchises. He's been a major figure there in the esports scene there. He frequently organizes and commentates community tournaments, and he brings attention to high-level competitive play in those franchises. I competed against Turin in the RTS 4X Hybrid, Dune Spice Wars, a game that I mained for a brief period of time, but really good game as well, and he dismantled me. Great mind.
I meant to try that game. I never ended up playing it.
Strategy games. Let's see how he does in Warcraft 3.
So I'm not familiar with Turin. But I'm not really familiar with the whole Warhammer universe, or competitive or not. I think that's another great addition for this.
All of these 8 players accepted my invitation to embark on this challenge of epic proportions, and they're going to be playing in this Warcraft 3 Streamer Invitational number 2. Learning a new game is always an exciting and not infrequently vexatious business, all the more so when it's War-freaking-Craft 3. So they'll just have just shy of 3 weeks to practice and prepare for this competition. Coaching will help, but it'll be their own perseverance that will eventually be the deciding factor. And now, as promised, the racial comment. The first invitational had a 4-1-1-2 racial spread with 4 humans and only 1 undead and 1 orc. This time, I've forced the players to commit to an even race spread. I was committed to go for a 2-2-2-2 split. I was willing to go to great lengths to segregate the players, asking each of them their preferences, and then if everyone wanted the same race, I would make them compete over race pick in some way. However, the first 6 people that shared their preferred pick with me already organically split into 4 different race categories, never triple in one category. So it was really simple. Only Viper and T90 hadn't given their picks yet, so I figured I'll give the chance to T90 to pick first, and then Viper will pick whatever's last, since he said he's flexible. However, the Viper didn't agree with that and picked before T90. So T90 got left with the last race. Viper picked Orc, which made Viper force T90 to play Human, so that Viper could play Orc. But anyway, he says he recommends Human for T90 because he thinks T90 will enjoy Human with his AoE2 background, which makes it seem like an act of kindness. I'm going to choose to believe him. So with that, the 4 races are represented by 2 players each. Tommy K and T90 are going to be Human. Reprising the Night Elves will be Loco and Lakari. Undead is going to be played by Turin and Tasteless. And Orc will be played by Red Panda and the Viper.
So my Warcraft 3 background was basically, I played it when the game came out, like every other guy that was like around my age at that time. I thought it was going to be the next step for me. Like I started my RTS career on Command & Conquer 1 and Warcraft 2. And I loved Warcraft 2. And then StarCraft 1 came out, and we got the internet in my house, and I'm like, oh, this is so good. I think we must have gotten the internet maybe like 2 months after we had the game, because I remember having the game and realizing you could play online, but we didn't have the internet. There was some period of time where I was just playing against the computer, or making maps, all that kind of stuff. So I got hardcore into competitive StarCraft 1, and then Warcraft 3 came out, and I think that it was so different than what I expected. And the truth is, it is so different if you come from StarCraft 1. Warcraft 2, StarCraft 1. In that progression, I just went back to StarCraft 1. I also think I didn't really understand or appreciate Warcraft 3 in the same way. I think I wanted another, when you play StarCraft, you want to gobble up expansions and kind of get these massive armies and control the whole map, mine out all the resources. And Warcraft 3 is a very different game that I didn't gain an appreciation for, I think, until after I kind of started working at esports events and talking to pros and getting their opinions. Also, I think a lot of StarCraft 1 players that stayed with StarCraft 1 were a little bit resentful at the time of Warcraft 3 because all the guys that went pro on that, like Grubby, got to travel around the world and make like real money. StarCraft 1, outside of Korea, there's no money. I mean, I probably, my entire career before moving to Korea, maybe made like $1,000 to $2,000. I mean, just no money. Like there was no way to really make it sustainable. So my background was playing multiplayer. I played all the races, which is what I usually do whenever there's a game that's new. I'll just try everything out. So in other words, I wasn't really good with any of them. Also, the game at that time, the first few months, it doesn't really matter whatever people are trying to do. People don't know how to play the game yet. If I had to say a best race at the time, maybe Human. I feel like I have the most memories of playing Human and using the 5 peasants to turn into militia, to push with the Archmage and the Water Elemental, to make an expansion. That's one of the reasons why I liked Human, is I was like, oh, these guys can fast expand. I didn't appreciate how much leveling and items and all that stuff were at the time. So this time around, in my memory, the early competitive Warcraft 3 days, I thought Undead was, I heard it was weaker, and then they had, unless you were happy, there was pretty low success rates. But I know there's been patches in the game, so I decided to pick Undead going into this. I just thought, oh, I should also mention, we did beat the Warcraft campaign on stream here. Maybe, what was like 7 or 8 months ago? Something like that. So I was thinking about what I want to play this time around. I thought, I looked back on that experience on playing the campaign, and I thought, yeah, I beat it on hard. I thought, I don't know, I enjoyed using the Death Knight to death coil stuff. I know some people are coming to my chat and they're saying, like, why did you not pick Orc? That's like Protoss. I feel like I can, even in StarCraft, I can kind of play all the races, right? I feel like anybody who's good enough at a game, eventually you can kind of play all of them. I don't know if I need to play a race that's like Protoss for it to make sense, although I guess I hadn't really thought about it in that way, but yeah, I think this is going to be interesting. I definitely think the best, like, player out of everybody here is clearly the Viper. Because although he's got a massive stream and it's great content, I mean, he's like basically the best or one of the best in his respective game. So I am hoping and praying I don't get paired with him, at least immediately. As far as how well I can do, I feel like, okay, so we streamed the game yesterday, and it was just me practicing versus a computer. I feel like we improved a lot. The question is going to be, how much more can I layer on? I don't think we have the brackets up yet, which would help. It would be nice to prep for, certain matchups. And I don't know. The thing I'm most uncomfortable about is I don't know what the maps are going to be, but this is maybe just more of a StarCraft thing. Maybe the maps are not as massive in Warcraft 3 as they are in StarCraft 1 or 2. I could be wrong. I mean, but I would love to know the maps. I would feel a lot more comfortable if I could see what maps. Maps are more important than Warcraft 3. Okay, so then I really, really need to see those maps. I'm going to be a lot more comfortable with that. Probably more important. Okay, thank you, chat. See, I don't know. So I am going to be coached by Terror, who I don't know if he's in the chat right now, but we can hop on Discord in a second here. My goal is to basically try to, from A to Z, like, figure the builds out, have a good idea of what I'm trying to do. Try to close it out. I've had some people come in here and tell me that they want to, like, you should do this simple strategy if you're not good. I feel like we could try to do strong builds and just play like good players. I think my skill can translate over. As far as what I've been practicing in my spare time, I've just been on stream. I've been doing Brood War, StarCraft 1, on the Korean server. Obviously, I'm based here in Korea, so I feel like I've been in an environment that's very competitive, and so hopefully I can be viable in ladder on this. I'm trying to think of what else I could say. I don't know. I'm hoping I can do well. I'm really going to try to give this my all. And I'm really grateful that Grubby messaged me about this. It is going to be, tournament time is going to be rough for me. The tournament starts at 1 a.m. in Korea, so I'll just be up all night for a weekend. But I think this is really cool. And if you're watching this, whether you're watching this on Twitch, you're going to watch this on my YouTube, which I'll upload this to later. Feel free to come by my chat. Give me tips. Backseating is welcome. I will not yell at you like I do in my Brood War games where I tell you don't know what you're talking about. I actually need help here. And I'm going to be probably putting extra streams up just to practice. I'm going to basically stream all the practice that I'm doing. We're going to be running with grid hotkeys. We have it set up so that we can use A for attack. For some reason on grid, it made it so that R was attack, which is insane, by the way. Yeah, so I'm excited. Special thanks to Grubby for inviting me to this. And yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, like and subscribe. Go to my merch shop, tastelessthreads.com. A lot of cool stuff there. And I'll see you guys in the tournament. Bye-bye.